Welcome to Unit 2 on Buddhism. Let's jump into the homework assignments for this unit. You'll see that all of the units appear on my menu because I'm the teacher and I can see all of them at the same time, but for you, it will probably only show a couple of units. Gradually, they get revealed as time goes on. So let's jump into Unit 2. Go ahead and read the Unit 2 introduction. Sort of sets the tone for studying Buddhism during this unit. After you read that, click on the Unit 2 study guide, which will bring you to this document. This gives you a brief overview of what the learning activities are, everything that you need to do during this unit, including readings and homework assignments. Make sure you read Unit 2 on Buddhism and read the rest of this study guide to start to introduce you to some of the ideas and concepts and connections that you'll need throughout this unit and through the rest of the course. Now, for those of you who are in an LPL class, you do not have a discussion board. Instead, you have a journal. Go ahead and click on the grading rubric, glance over that to see what the expectations are, and compare your grade to it afterwards. In this Unit 2 journal, reflect on the Eightfold Path. If you were using it as a guide in life, which of these principles do you feel are most and least important to the Buddhist way, and why? Really put yourself in their shoes. I want to see that you understand what the Eightfold Path is, and I want to see that you're really trying to put in the effort to understand what it's like to be one of these people. Give me some unique thoughts and make sure that it is accurate to the textbook as far as representing the Eightfold Path. It needs to be at least 200 words. All you need to do is click on this submit button, click write a submission, and go ahead and write or copy paste your submission right in there. For those who are in a term class, next go ahead down to the discussion board. Remember to review the grading rubric quickly. It's the same rubric for each and every week. Review the due dates. The initial response is due by Saturday, and a reply to another student is due by the following Tuesday. Click on the big blue button to go to the discussion board. Here you'll see the discussion board question. It says, in reviewing the Eightfold Path, discuss which of the practices you feel are the most and least important to the Buddhist way. So make sure you understand what the Eightfold Path is. Maybe give 1 or 2 sentence explanation of the overall Eightfold Path. And then when you pick the practices that you feel are most important, make sure that you tell me how those practices relate to the other elements of the Eightfold Path. I want you to make sure that you display sufficient understanding of that concept. So spend a couple of sentences explaining what it is normally, and then go into your own view and how it impacts culture or how it relates to your specific beliefs. Remember, this is a homework assignment, not a social media post, so make sure that both your initial post submission and your reply to another student are homework worthy. Not just a couple sentences, not just repeating the question or repeating what somebody else says, but really contributing something of your own idea and creativity. Think of some sort of application, something to carry the discussion forward. Jump back over to Unit 2 and scroll down to the reflection paper. Again, click on the grading rubric and go ahead and review that so that you'll know what is expected, what kind of quality and what elements are expected. Read this thoroughly before you even read the instructions, and then also when you get your feedback, you can compare your grade to this chart to see how you can improve. The instructions for this reflection paper are: after your story on Hinduism that was last week, your boss at the religious news has sent you north of India to bring a report back on Buddhism. For this story, you will be traveling through Nepal, Tibet, China, and Burma to witness the 3 major types of Buddhism: Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. Your boss has noted that he would like for you to reflect on the three major types of Buddhism as you journey from country to country to note the differences. Your report needs to also include the potential for conflict between other religious groups. To grasp all ideas, you need to include the following components. First, summarize cultural differences that lead to variances in Buddhist practices from specified countries, and help explain why there are differences, not just what the differences are. Next, conclude whether you would be willing to risk punishment for your beliefs, like that of the treatment shown to Buddhists in the Tibetan spirituality video within this unit. Most religions have what are called martyrs, people who are punished or persecuted or even killed for their beliefs. How strongly do you hold to your beliefs, and do you have the courage to risk punishment for your beliefs? What I'd like to see as you write this paper is to make sure that you show that you thoroughly understand these three different branches of Buddhism. A lot of different religions have different branches, and it's important for us to understand that the branches are not identical. They do have commonalities, which makes them still all three part of the same religion, but it's important to understand why someone would choose one or the other. It could be where they live, or their family, or specifically about the beliefs themselves. As we encounter people in our lives that are Buddhist, we might benefit from being able to ask specific questions about their branch of Buddhism and understand that not all Buddhists are the same. Your reflection should be at least 1 page in length. You must include at least one outside source, which can be your textbook. Honestly, that's what probably most of you are going to cite is your textbook. Remember to use APA formatting throughout the assignment. If you have questions, reach out to me, your instructor, and also the Success Center for assistance in writing. Further resources are the citation guide, the online library research guide, and you can submit a writing center request. You can go ahead and click on Submit Unit Reflection Paper when you're done. Scroll down to this dotted line area, click Browse My Computer, find your file, and go ahead and click Submit. When you get your grades back, make sure to compare them to the grading rubric and also to view the professor feedback. In order to remember how to find professor feedback, scroll up to the top, click on Announcements, then scroll to the bottom, and you'll see the announcement that says how to locate professor feedback. Again, I'll see you next time for the next unit's homework assignments.